Hello again, it's Mr. Wishahi, and we're going to continue our financial literacy unit. And in this lesson, we're going to talk about compound interest. This is very different than simple interest. Compound interest, for one, it looks very different, but it also calculates interest on the principal and any interest that you've already earned. So it's going to move at a faster rate than a simple interest loan that has the same principal and same rate. So let's go through our formula. It's A equals P times 1 plus R and an exponent of T. So let's go over our variables. Our variable A, that means amount. That's a total amount. That's going to be the principal plus interest earned. So that's very different from your simple interest because your formula gives you just the interest. This gives us a total of the principal and the interest. P, that's our principal. That's your beginning balance. It's always a dollar amount. 1's going to be your constant. R, remember it's a rate, a percent rate, but as a decimal. You always remember to calculate that percent as a decimal. You zoom in so you can move it. And then T, time in years. You always want to use years, don't use months. Okay, let's do an example. So let's say I took out a $10,000 loan. I'm going to use the same example we used from our simple interest video with a 5% rate and a 10-year term. I'm going to go ahead and enter that into my formula. 10,000 is going to be my principal. 1 is my constant plus 5% as a decimal, so it's 0.05 to the exponent of 10 to the 10th power. And when you plug that into your calculator, it should look exactly like that. You always want to separate them in parentheses. I'm going to hit enter. I got a big number. I got 16,288.9467. Since we're talking about money, we want to round to the second decimal because that's the pennies. So let's go and round that up to a 5, that 0.94 to 5. So that comes out to $16,288.95. That's the total amount. That's including the interest and the principal. If I want to know how much of that was interest, well, I just take my original principal and I subtract that. And that comes out to $6,288.95. That's a big difference from our example that when we use the same principal rate and time from simple interest, where it's a lot more interest being accumulated through compound interest, because again, it's not just the principal that's adding to the interest, but any interest that's been accumulated. Okay, let's do another example. Let's do a loan of $7,500, an 8.5% rate in 24 months. Let's put them in our formula. I got my principal of $7,500 separated by parentheses, my constant of 1, 8.5% as a decimal, so that comes out to 0.085, and my time. So your time has to be in years, so we've got to convert that 24 months to years. So I'm going to divide 24 by 12, and that gives me 2 years. Okay? You're going to plug it into your calculator. So 7,500 times 1 plus your percent as a decimal and your exponent of 2 for the 2 years. So, since we're talking about money, we want to round that up to a decimal. Round that up to the second decimal, so I'm going to call that 0.19. So to $8,829.19. That's the amount. That's principal plus the interest. If I want to know just how much interest, well, again, you take your principal amount and you subtract. So this is telling me that the interest earned was $1,329.19. Okay, so let's just look at the formula one more time. You got A is the amount, principal plus interest, and you remember you're going to use your time as the exponent. Plug it into your calculator and let it do all the work for you. Alright, good luck.